Welcome back. Today we will be traveling through time and space from a legendary comet to an iconic fountain and finally to the swinging sounds of the 1960s. And of course, as always, we have a word and a quote to go with all that. So grab your favorite cuppa, sit back, and let's have a look. Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for May 22nd. May 22nd is the 142nd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 143rd in leap years, with 223 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is taciturn. Taciturn is an adjective that means temperamentally disinclined to talk. Synonyms might include tight-lipped, reticent, closed mouth, or aloof. Basically, a fancy word for someone who doesn't talk much. A couple of example sentences might be, the taciturn old man sat by the window watching the world go by while he sipped his coffee, or, while Genevieve's co-workers found her taciturn, her written communication skills were highly regarded in the office. The word taciturn comes to us from French, Middle French before that, Latin before that. First known use of the word taciturn is in the 1730s, taciturn. And with that, we've mentioned Edmund Halley and the comet bearing his name before. Edmund Halley was an English astronomer, mathematician, and physicist who lived from the middle of the 1600s to the middle of the 1700s. In studying the records of the appearance of historical comets, he correctly concluded that there were three in particular that were actually the same comet. He then went on to predict when it would return, and while he passed away before it came back, he was correct. And so it is that that comet has come to be called Halley's Comet, or Comet Halley. We mention this today because the 14th perihelion passage of Halley's Comet was noted on May 22nd in the year 760. Halley's Comet. The Trevi Fountain was officially completed and inaugurated in Rome on May 22, 1762. Isn't that beautiful? It was designed by Italian architect Nico Salve and completed by Giuseppe Panini. Fashioned in the Baroque style, it's one of the most famous fountains in the world. Its name comes from the Latin word trivium, which means a place where three streets meet. My understanding is that this was the traditional intersection of three aqueducts that supplied water to Rome through the aqueduct channels. It's a tradition to toss coins into the fountain, throwing with the right hand over the left shoulder. In fact, this was a theme of a 1954 movie, Three Coins in the Fountain, along with the Academy Award-winning theme song for that movie. I talked about that song, Three Coins in a Fountain, recently, and I'll leave a link to that episode in the description in case you'd like to check that out. The Trevi Fountain has also been featured in several other movies, and by the way, several thousands of euros worth of coins are tossed into the fountain every day, and it is illegal to steal coins from the fountain once they're in there. So, leave them in there. Today's song is Ticket to Ride by the Beatles. Credited to the Lennon-McCartney writing team, Ticket to Ride was issued as a single in April of 1965 and became the Beatles' seventh consecutive number one hit in the United Kingdom and third consecutive number one hit in the United States. Included on the 1965 album Help, Ticket to Ride was said to be psychologically deeper than anything the Beatles had recorded up to this point. Ticket to Ride is one of those songs that has been much discussed as to whether it might have some deep alternative meaning other than just the words we hear in the song, but we're not going to get into any of that right now. Let's just enjoy the song at face value. It's been covered by several artists. One in particular that I'll mention here is the Carpenters, although there are quite a number of covers of Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride by the Beatles hit number one on May 22, 1965. Link in the description. How about that? These items from May 22nd remind us that beauty takes many forms: celestial, architectural, artistic, musical, and sometimes the most powerful moments are the quietest ones, much like today's word, Taciturn. Along that line, we have a quote from the 5th century BC Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu, who said, where's our quote? He didn't say that. Who said, silence is a source of great strength. Lao Tzu. A lot of ways you can take that one. Alrighty, y'all take care. Be good to each other. I'll see you next time. And I've adapted that because this is actually my right hand, this is actually my left shoulder, but I recognize that that view is reversed in the video. Right hand, left shoulder. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoyed this series, you can check out the playlists in the description. You can find me on BitChute, Facebook, Odyssey, Rumble, YouTube, and X, as well as on a blog page called No Really. All those links are in the description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.